Okay, so changing the subject of the formula, there are two levels of difficulty here, and I'm going to have a go at two different types of question. This one's slightly easier, and then the other one more challenging. So we're asked to make S the subject of the formula. Now, to make S the subject of the formula essentially means to get S on its own and equals everything else on the other side of the equation. Okay, so I'd like to do this in the same way that I solve an equation. I'm going to put a dotted line where the equals is. And what we do to one side, we need to do to the other. So at the minute I've got v squared on the left equals u squared, add 2as. Now remember, 2as means 2 times a times s. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is subtract u squared from both sides. I really don't like when they use v's and u's because I feel like they look really similar, but there we go. V squared minus u squared equals stays on that dotted line, and we're just left with 2as on the right hand side. Now, in order to get this s on its own, I need to get the 2a onto the other side, or get rid of that. So we need to think, what is connecting the 2a with the s? And we know that because they're written next to each other, that is a multiplication. So what I'm going to do is divide both sides by 2a. Dividing this side by 2a leaves us with s, which is what we wanted. And then I just need to divide the other side by 2a, because what we do to one side, we have to do to the other. So v squared minus u squared divided by 2a. And that would be our answer. I would just probably flip it round. It doesn't matter if you leave it as it was here, but let's say our final answer would be that. S is now the subject of the formula. S is on its own, and it equals everything else on the other side. And we've got no s's on that right-hand side. That's really important. Okay, so a harder version of that would look like this. Make m the subject of this formula. Now notice I've got an m here and I've got an m up here. So this one's slightly more challenging because it appears more than once. But our method is going to be the same. Okay, we're making m the subject of the formula. First thing we're going to do is a dotted line, and we need to get rid of this fraction. So to get rid of the fraction, we're going to multiply by the denominator. Now, because you're multiplying by more than one thing, we're multiplying by all of this, 5 plus m. If I times by 5 plus m, I need to put that in a bracket, so I'm timesing by all of it, 5 plus m. So that leaves me with f 5 plus m equals 4 minus 3m. So on the left-hand side, we've multiplied f by that bracket, and on the right-hand side, we've got rid of the bracket, got rid of the fraction, because it was being divided by that. We multiplied to get rid of that fraction. Now I'm going to times out the bracket, so f times 5 and f times m, so 5f add fm, doesn't matter if you write mf, but we like to keep things in alphabetical order, equals 4 minus 3m. Okay, now we've got m's on each side of the equation. We want to get those m's on the same side of the equation. So I'm going to start by adding 3m to both sides. Doesn't matter which way you go, but I like to keep things positive if possible. So 5f add fm add 3m equals 4. And then we're going to take 5f away from both sides. So fm add 3m equals 4 minus 5f. Now, the only way to get these m's together now is to factorise. So we're going to do m, open brackets, f add 3 equals 4 minus 5f. And then, running out of room, I'm just going to do it above. So now to get the m on its own, this m is being multiplied by the bracket. So now we're just going to divide both sides by the bracket f add 3. So our final answer is m equals 4 minus 5f all over f add 3. And we can take it out of the bracket now because you can see it, or you can leave it in. It's entirely up to you. So that would be our final answer. So that's a more challenging question where it appears more than once. So that one was slightly trickier. Well done if you followed along.